Today we're going to do our sound trap demo for a doo-wop progression. We're going to record 2 drum tracks, a bass track, and a piano track, kind of like we did for Mary Had a Little Lamb. So first we need to enter the studio. Apparently Soundtrap lets you collaborate with anyone in the world, even animals and plants. Blank, template, add a new track. We're going to start with our foundation of the drum kit, so go ahead, add a new track, drum kit. We're going to go to the clean black drum kit like we've used before. And we need to find that kick drum and snare drum. Bass drum, snare drum. That's our backbone of this beat. We're going to go ahead and change the tempo a little bit slower. We'll go about 70 beats per minute. This is going to try to sound a little bit like In the Still of the Night. So we'll think about that tempo. I'm going to stick with my 8-bar loop, so I can go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more thing, just like we did for our 12-bar blues, I want to check my grid and make sure that it's set to the 8th note triplet. And it's going to be a little bit funky when we record the next hi-hat part, for whatever reason, but go ahead and do that, and it'll sound good in the end. Alright, so that's set. We're going to record the kick drum and snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 8 bars long. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. You gonna think the song in your head? In the still of the night. Oh. Alright, pretty good, except for I made a little mistake there. I'm going to go ahead and quantize that all to quarter notes. So I'm just playing 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll fix. Oh, good. There's that little mess up. That looks better. Alright, add a new track. We're going to get some hi-hat in here to give us. We're just going to go ahead and do the same clean black drum set. And for this one, we're going to do that shuffle pattern. We're going to think triplet, triplet, triplet. So pretty much the same thing you were doing on your 12-bar blues. Alright? I'm going to go back here. Think that's the first and the third note of that triplet. Triplet, triplet, shuffle. Alright? Long, short, long, short. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. I swear that I'm playing triplets. The playback for this is sometimes a little bit herky-jerky, but when it quantizes it, triplet, 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 triplet. Yeah, so it looks okay, and some of that is just that I don't know if it's the articulation on the keyboard, wants to move things certain ways. I swear to you I was playing a shuffle rhythm and it sounded great. My finger was clicking very nicely on the keyboard. And because we have this set to our 8th note triplet grid, I can go ahead and quantize this to that 8th note triplet, and it should sound a little bit more like a shuffle. Let's see that. See how that even things out? Triplet, 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 triplet. Cool. Alright, now we need our bass line melody. So for that we need a bass. We're going to go ahead, switch to bass electric, and get this clean electric sound that we've used for the other tracks. And remember, we want to shift down an octave for our bass. We could do this in a couple different registers. A lot of times you would hear the song played with that as the home note. We're still going to be in the key of C, so that starts on C. That's our scale degree 1. From there it goes 1, then to 6. So we can think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4. Then it goes 4, 2, 5, 2, 3, 4. This might sound a little bit different than in the recordings because of the register. Most of the time, the bass player would play a C, and then it goes 1, 6, we go down to that A. It's an open string on the bass. But because we're playing it on piano, it's a little bit more convenient to see it and visually just know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes C to A to F to G. And remember, these letters, if you're using your computer, those are just the keyboard shortcuts. That's not the name of the musical alphabet pitches. It's still C, D, E, F, G, A. So we're focusing on C, A, F, and G. We're going to do each one of those for 1 bar apiece. All right? So, here, go away you. All right? Start there. Record. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the still 3, 4 of the night. G, that's number 5, and back to 1, and up to 6, down to 4, and round it out on 5. Should look like this. I'm going to go ahead and quantize this now just to whole notes. Just 1 note every 1 measure. Might shift a little bit, and it ought to sound. Alright, so that should come out pretty well. Alright, so now let's go ahead and add a piano part. We're going to do triads on our piano, meaning these 3-note chords that are based around the bass notes. We don't need to shift octaves or registers for this. The default is just fine. 1, 3, 5. So that's our first triad. Then we need to do a triad that's based off of, we call that A minor. It's just part of the key. It's all white notes. So that's the triad based off the 6th scale degree. Now we shift down. 4, F, A, C, and then based off the 5 chord. In the still of the night. Alright, so we're going to try to do this again. Just 1 chord every measure, so every 4 beats. So let's see. I would like. Go back to the beginning. Five, 6, 7, 8. Repeat it. Oh, sorry, I arpeggiated. Here's a little mistake. Still there? That's okay. I can also see what happens if I quantize this. Yep, so it'll actually shift it. So it all is on the beginning of the measure. The duration changes a little. That's okay. And it's alright if you do the thing that I just did where you play one note then the other. That's called arpeggiating the chord. So you still play, end up with the chord, or spell it out, but just sustains the pitches for different lengths, starts them at different times. So ideally, you'll play them all at the same time. I know that's a little bit difficult at first, especially if you're trying it on your phone. But get something that sounds like this and listen to it and come to recognize this as the doo-wop progression, as particularly evidenced by the song In the Still of the Night. Enjoy!